Welcome everybody to today's podcast episode. I'm thrilled to introduce our special guest, CS Bagchi. Bagchi and I were college roommates, and I've always been amazed by his unwavering composure and his deep dedication to the philosophy of Vivekananda. Throughout his life, Bagchi has not only embraced the spiritual teachings of Vivekananda, but has also seamlessly integrated them into his everyday existence, living a life that beautifully harmonizes spirituality with the comforts of home. Hey, Bakchi, good to see you, man. How are you?
Hi Vijay, I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing good also. Hey, thanks for joining. As we were talking earlier, we want to start maybe talking about this uh, lots of people in midlife, and it's the time to implement what we learned when we were in teenage and also plan for maybe senior life, right? But it's more like celebrating the midlife and not making it like a midlife crisis, which is what they say. So what do
True.
you think about that?
Yeah. So, uh, midlife, you use that word. Uh, Life is like a journey, it never stops. Every day, we are accumulating more and more experiences, and it continues. Uh, there are different phases in life, and in every phase of life, we acquire more and more experiences. Now, to certain extent we can say that, and as it is said in management books also, that you learn from your experiences and then apply it in your own life or in your work. uh, True, it does happen. But the difficulty with life is it always poses new challenges.
Hmm.
Not a single day is unique. I would say every single day is unique. Not one day is like the previous day or any other day which has happened in past. So the question here is, how do we better prepare ourselves to handle those challenges in life? uh, so life keeps on moving. Sometimes we feel we are moving in the right direction, sometimes we feel uh, it may not be the direction which we want, but the real life is, it just goes on, and uh, it takes us towards our destiny.
Yeah.
Many times we do not know what is our destiny, but we just move on. uh, and that is where the confusion occurs. What's my path? Where do I go? Where am I heading to? Is it the right path? So all these confusions, since you use the word midlife, I would say that it becomes more and more prominent as we become more and more senior.
Yeah, and I think like midlife, if I use midlife just to say, hey, we need to maybe plan for that senior life. Is where we do see lots of senior centers and maybe teenage centers, but we don't see anything for midlife, where people can maybe plan and think about that. So,
You're absolutely right, Vijay, and I want to touch upon that aspect as well, because uh, I have spent a significant amount of time uh, with my own parents. When I say with, what I mean by that is, I've I'm seeing them aging. I'm seeing them, the difficult time they are going through or they went through, uh, and it's only a matter of time. Today we can say we are in midlife. Maybe few years down the line, we will be in that stage too.
sure.
That's one aspect. The other aspect is what you said just now, is how do we plan for it. Now, this planning is something which cannot happen in a day. It cannot happen overnight. As I said, it's a journey, and we acquire experiences in life. We learn from those experiences, but how much we prepare ourselves for that post midlife journey is equally important. I have had a lot of thoughts, discussions, self-analysis, and observation. So I can give you, some of those understanding which I have developed over a period of. There are different stages in life, right? Uh, we take birth, we are child, we go through the childhood learning process. After that, we become adults. That's another phase of life where uh, during childhood we are taken care by our parents or our elderly. Uh, when we are born, that time practically we are helpless. It's our parents who take care of us, who nurture us, provide us the necessary support to grow up, and then we start surviving in life. At that point of time, we feel that yes, uh, uh, we are growing. We have our own independent thoughts. We don't understand life so much. We are in our own world. But as we grow old, get into the adult life, go through college, and then get into the job, uh, that's a different kind of realization. But still, I would say that childness, the childhoodness, I would say, the childlike behavior, the mind is not yet prepared or matured so much. So we continue to go with that flow. We think we are independent. We think we can do anything. We can manage anything. So all those thoughts are there during that time because there is so much of energy.
Right.
And then we make progress, and then suddenly we realize that okay, now we are probably family members. We have family, wife, children, and then that poses a different kind of challenge in life too. And then we progress further. Suddenly we realize that okay, children are also growing up, and we kind of start realizing that what we have gone through during our childhood is kind of repeating. So that's something which goes on. But then a stage comes when we start seeing that there are, like I have a lot of gray hair now.
Me too.
Unlike you, because I'm sure you must be following some kind of lifestyle which is helping you keeping it all black. No, I have to admit it. It depends a lot on your personal lifestyle too. But having said that, what I want to say is suddenly we realize that earlier uh, people used to call us maybe brother, bhaiya, or younger brother, and suddenly we become uncles, and then suddenly people start calling you or calling me uh, grandfather or grandmother or my grandfather's friend or something like that. So then suddenly it uh, strikes in mind that okay, what has changed? What has changed is our appearance, right? uh, Over a period of time we have started becoming more and more senior, matured. Now some people do feel they are quite young. It's a lot to do with mind. I agree. But at the same time there are physical changes which take place. So I always believe that every human being, every person has three ages. First one is called your chronological age, I'm sorry, chronological age, which is right from day one the clock starts ticking. Okay, so we can count that okay, how many years I am old, and so on. The second age what every human being has is called your biological age. It all depends on how well I have maintained myself.
Mhm.
If I have invested in myself, in my health, in my well-being, it also shows up. And uh, people can, a lot of times people can comment that oh, you don't look so old, or you look older than your current age, whatever you are putting. So that's biological age. The third one, which I feel is the most significant one according to me, is your mental age. We are that old as much as what we think we are. Obviously, If I think I'm still young, I can do a lot of things myself. It definitely helps, and we can keep ourselves rejuvenated, younger, at least mentally, for a long period of time. Having said that, let me come back to the question which you asked, that how do we progress when we are in midlife? How do we progress from here, and what preparations do we have to do? It's more so sooner the preparation happens, we get more time to prepare. Okay, that's very important. Important things which, again, based on my personal experience, I would say one needs to have some amount of social skills. We need to be able to talk to people, sometimes strangers, sometimes known, but as long as we are able to mix with people. uh, I have a friend uh, who grew up in a different city, where his parents used to live, and for work he moved here. After his parents retired, they also moved along with him. For his parents, it became a totally new environment, and I could see that his parents are still struggling to connect with people, to talk to people. Maybe sometimes wavelength do not match, sometimes the language is a problem, sometimes even the physical abilities also can pose a challenge. uh, on the other hand, you will find there are people who will, no matter wherever they are, whether they are in a cinema hall, they are in a mall, invariably you will find they make friends and they start gossiping. So I would say that one has to know the art of socializing, and talk to people and make friends. This is something which is very, very essential. The other part, which is also a time consuming thing, is develop some hobbies, some interests, because there will be time when we will be not doing anything, or work, our work will get over. We have to, then suddenly we will find that there's a lot of time in our hands. How do we utilize that? So we have to be filling up those times with our interests, hobbies, things which we would like to do. There are many things what we can do. Most commonly people use reading books, music, gardening, and so on. But these are some of the things which we cannot develop in just a day. Like, I know you have been playing mouth organ for a very, very long time, during our college days, and you have continued with that habit. So I'm sure when you get the mouth organ in your hand, you probably forget the rest of the world, right? You enjoy yourself with that. So that's what is very important, that when you are indulging in the activity which you feel is your interest area, you really like doing, uh, you will forget the world for some time. Then let me come to some of those subtle things. During the senior age, I have seen it becomes lot more easier or lot more difficult, depending on how much we start expecting from people. If we do not expect anything from anyone, let me tell you, the life becomes very easy.
True.
I would have expected that you will bring a glass of milk to me, or glass of water to me, uh, versus, if I need a glass of water, can I just go and fetch it myself? If somebody gives it to me, well and good. But if somebody does not offer me a glass of water, it's okay with me. So removing expectation, reducing expectation is very, very important for a peaceful life in future. I have seen a lot of times, and when we look around, we find that especially the seniors, the elderly people, uh, find it very difficult to pass time, because they complain of loneliness. Uh, yes, if one feels that I am lonely, it becomes painful. But if I just twist that word, and if I say that, what about solitude? That becomes a very positive thing. So we have to learn the art of living all by yourself, with myself, irrespective of somebody is there with me or not. Because the fact of life is nobody is going to be there sitting next to me 24 hours. There will be time when I will be alone and I have to spend time with myself. So this is something which we should start cultivating from now onwards. And one more thing I would like to prescribe, this is there in my prescription, is we have to reduce our wants. We talked about expectation, but this is about what I want. Okay, if I can cut down on my wants, needs will always be there. We can try to reduce our needs also, but if we can cut down on our wants, the life becomes much simpler, easier, and less painful.
Yeah. True.
You know.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Agree.
So these are 4 or 5 things which are in my prescription. I have, been thinking about it, and this is something which I'm trying to implement in myself.
No, no, no. I've seen you from college days, and like I was saying, you have been always very calm and composed, and you're continuing that life. So that's very good. I think I see you have Mata's picture in the background, and with Navratri coming, I wanted to see what do you think Navratri festival teaches us for life in a broader sense.
Yeah, Navratri is a very special time of the year. As a matter of fact, Navratri happens multiple times in a year, but this particular Navratri is special. That's where Dashara is celebrated. But Navratri happens at different points or different months also. I will not go into that. That's a maybe we can keep that for another
Next
session
time.
sometime. But this particular Navratri, where we celebrate Dashara, we all know that it's a symbol, or it's a announcement of victory of truth over evil. As it is said, adharm par dharm ki vijay. As we all know, there are a lot of stories that Bhagwan Shri Ram, he killed Ravan on Dashara day, and on different days, different asuras were killed. But when we talk about Navratri, it's also about Ma Durga. Durga represents Shakti, a feminine power. In God has created male and females, right? It's part of the nature. But at the same time, the feminine part has many special powers, and if it is looked at in the right way, it can give us a lot of peace in life. One very important script which is used during Navratri is called Durga Saptashati. I know that there are many scripts, but out of that, this is one which is usually chanted and the rituals are followed. But my purpose is not to talk about Durga Saptashati. What I would like to talk about is during this Durga Saptashati's text, when this Durga Saptashati text is narrated, there are many demons which Ma Durga actually destroys. And each of those demons represents some kind of shortcomings in our life. I would just like to take a step back and say that see, earlier we talked about experiences in life. When we talk about spiritual experience in life, what happens is when somebody wants to grow spiritually, one has to meet with or deal with many challenges. And those challenges are, everywhere. In Durga Saptashati, the demons who are there, they represent each demon represents a weakness in our life. Okay, and I will just quickly walk you through, again, without going into the mythological story. I will remain at the philosophical level.
True.
And what are those demons which actually stops us from making progress in our spiritual life? So the first set of demons which Ma Durga destroys are called Madhu and Kaitav. Now, if you see the literal meaning of it, Madhu means sweet and Kaitav means kadwa, bitter, right? When somebody starts the spiritual journey, or it happens with all of us, see, like it or not, we all are on spiritual journey. Somebody is making effort to make progress faster. Somebody is going slower, but everybody is in this journey, like it or not. So when I say about Madhu and Kaita, sweet and bitter, it means that we have to understand that if somebody says anything good about me, I should not be overjoyed. If somebody criticizes me, I should not feel down. Okay, I have to rise above all these sweet and bitter kind of experiences. It's easy to say, it's very difficult to practice. But in our spiritual journey, if we can identify and get away from this sweet and bitter experiences and move on, it helps us making progress faster. The second demon or second set of, so first we talked about Madhu and Kaitav. The second demon or the second, so when I say Madhu and Kaitav, they were demons which Ma Durga had to fight at once. The second demon which comes, the second part of the demon which comes is called Mahishasur, which we usually know. And if you go to any Durga temple, you will find the statue of Mahishasur also. Now, literal meaning of Mahishasur means Mahish means buffalo. So this particular demon had the boon to disguise himself in various animal forms. During the last battle, he was fighting with Ma Durga as a buffalo. And what happened was, that's when she identified and she killed. But what Mahishasur represents philosophically is anger, rage, and lust. So Mahishasur is the form, or you can say the behavior in our life which represents all these aspects. These are all negative emotions, you can say. But it's not easy. So Madhu and Kaitav, sweet and bitter, we, with some amount of mental training, we can rise above that. But it's not easy to kill this demon, Mahishasur, who is representing lust, rage, anger. It's not easy. So, and it will not help if we try to kill it. Only way we can handle this is if we can channelize this energy. See, these are all energy. Anger is energy. Rage is energy. So if we can channelize these, we can get past this particular demon. The next demon which comes in this story or mythological story, Durga Saptashati, is called Dhumralochan. Now, Dhumralochan is basically represents illusion. In Hindi or Sanskrit, it is called Maya. You think it is there, but in reality, it may not be there. it is disguised under something else. So when we are making progress in our spiritual journey, we have to identify how to cut down, how to identify what is right, what is wrong. What is the real thing behind it? We have to cut through that. And that is what Dhumralochan is all about. The next set of demon which comes in front of a spiritual seeker is Chand and Mund. Now, if you go with the literal meaning, Chand represents passion or cruelty, violence. Mund literal meaning is head. But what goes on in our head, it could be positive, it could be negative. Passion, So in this spiritual journey, we have to understand that we should not get stuck with our passion. What actually, so for example, we have seen many realized, I won't say realized, but many well-known people, they have some very deep-rooted passion. I want this fame, I want to do this, and they get associated with it. When they are working on this so passionately, it actually deviates them from their spiritual progress. So we have to understand that we have a journey to follow, and we do not want to get distracted or deviated in our journey by getting stuck in those kind of materialistic achievements. The next set of demon, or next demon which comes in this journey, is called Rakt Bij.
Rakt Bij.
Yes. So Rakt Bij was a demon who had this boon that if every drop of blood of his falls on the ground, another demon of his caliber will appear. And he will have the same power. So imagine if 1,000 drops of his blood falls onto the ground, what will happen?
Right.
Now, I will again not go into the mythological story. It's very interesting, and because that's where Ma Kali, who is another form of Ma Durga, handled this situation. But that's a different thing. Probably we can cover it some other time. But Rakt Bij actually represents desire. It's a very common thing. When I have a pen, let's say I have a pen, I'm quite happy. As long as I do not have that pen, I will be restless. Once I get the pen, I will be happy momentarily. But then I will suddenly realize, oh my God, I have it now. I need another one. I need a different one. I need a better one. And this happens endlessly. This is what Rakt Bij is all about. You meet one desire, countless number of desires will start appearing. How to control ourselves and how not to get sucked into those kind of desires. And this desire could be negative, positive, both ways. But most of the time, when the desires appear, we get stuck with it. And this becomes a major hurdle in our spiritual journey. Last set of demons which Ma Durga actually destroys are called Shumb and Nishumb. They represent good and bad. So first one we have seen Madhu and Kaita, that is sweet and bitter. Something similar here, but the difference here is Shumb and Nishumb are very subtle. Vijay, as a person, I like you. You are a good person. The moment I make such statements, or the moment I get this kind of feeling, it will slow me down from making my spiritual journey, because I'm getting stuck again with good and bad. Okay. So I don't have to. Yes, appreciation is very, very important. Acknowledging is important. But getting stuck because something is good, something is bad, will not help in my spiritual journey. And when a sadhak or a spiritual seeker overcomes all these demons, then the last set of, you can say, good demons appear. They are called Surat and Samadhi. Surat and Samadhi are those demons which actually help you. It's like a chariot.
It's like a what?
Okay? Chariot.
Okay.
A vehicle. It helps you move ahead with your spiritual journey. Because you have taken care of all your anger, good and bad, sweet and sour things. You have taken care of all the illusions. You understand what's the right path. That's where, this set of demons will actually make you progress, help you make progress in your spiritual journey. So this is all about the demons which are described in Durga Saptashati. Durga Saptashati as a script is very, very powerful, and during Navratri it is read all over. But to me, more than the script, its inner meanings and how it helps me become a better person, and how I would like to fulfill my spiritual journey. So all these demons, actually, if I'm aware of them, I can try to protect myself, not get stuck with it, and continue with my journey.
Right. No, very good. I think, like you said, if we are aware of them, and when we are maybe celebrating the festival, every day we need to remember which demons and be aware of them, and try to, everyone has to kill them inside and go towards the spiritual journey. Very good, very good. Bagchi, I think for today's, maybe we'll do this much and then maybe we'll do some more talks like this. It's been very helpful and I really enjoyed this conversation.
So Vijay, first of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I have been, as you said, interested. This is something which is I like indulging. But at the same time, I would like to say that I'm not knowledgeable. This field is like an ocean. I'm still not into it. I'm still trying to scratch the surface, and I am trying to experiment many things on myself.
No,
So
yeah, I was
it is
just going to
something
say.
which,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead. No, so I am my subject, and the experimentation is going on. So I'm learning many things when I go through these kind of thought process on a regular basis.
Sure. And I think we'll do more. I mean, you have a lot of knowledge, even though you're saying you don't. Yeah, one of the things is, I mean, I think instead of talking to like so-called gurus, it's always good to see someone who is going through the life, staying in the family, going through the hurdles every day, and still maintaining the lifestyle. I think I've seen you from my college days. You're my roommate, and I've seen you staying on that course. So, but yeah, I mean, again, thank you. We'll do more of these, and if there are questions from people, we'll maybe take them next time also.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, Bagchi. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you for the opportunity.